Good morning. This is KELOLAND on the go with all you need to know of news and weather as you start your weekend. We also have Report and Busters coming up, but first, our top story. Sioux Falls police are looking for a man who's accused of window peeking and stalking multiple children. 43-year-old Stephen Martin is also accused of indecent exposure and sexual exploitation of a minor. This is not the first time Martin has been in the news. We first told you about him in July of 2024. At that time, he was accused of standing outside of children's bedroom windows. Martin is now accused in 4 separate cases. The alleged victims range in ages from 5 to 13 years old. A Minnehaha County judge has sentenced a former pastor to jail for inappropriately touching women while he was training for a new career as a massage therapist. Patrick Anderson will serve 9 days after pleading guilty last year to rape and sexual contact without consent involving 4 women. Anderson was facing up to 15 years in the penitentiary. The judge said on Friday that he considered tossing the plea deal because he said Anderson was not taking full responsibility for the crimes. One of his victims tells KELOLAND News a longer sentence would not have made her feel any better about what happened to her. An aircraft equipped with infrared imagery is expected to fly over the Wildfire later today to give crews on the ground a better idea of its size. The fire burning near Custer has grown to an estimated 7,000 acres. Between 20 to 25 fire engines are at the scene, along with 2 National Guard helicopters. On Friday, FEMA approved a fire management assistant grant for South Dakota, meaning that federal funding is available to pay 75% of the state's firefighting costs. The Quarry Fire is actually 2 separate fires that grew into one. The fire was still 0% contained as of last night. Communities across KELOLAND are preparing for a mid-March blast of wintry weather this weekend. That includes Sioux Falls, where crews with the street department will begin clearing roads once the snow arrives. City workers have been checking their equipment to make sure everything's working in order before they head out into the snow.
Like, we got guys out, they're going through the plows, make sure all the cutting edges are full strength, ready to go, so that way you don't go out for an hour and then you got to come back and get a new cutting edge. So
just remember to give our plow operators the space that they need, whether they're on our emergency routes or they're in your residential neighborhoods plowing those streets. They need the time to get that done, and we can get that done fairly quickly, but we need the help of you to kind of stay away from those plows and give them the space they need.
And you want to be sure to stay weather aware and check road conditions ahead of time if you need to be traveling this weekend. Let's take our first look at the forecast now with meteorologist Scott Munt in the Storm Center. Good morning, Scott.
Good morning, Perry. Good morning, everybody. The system has slowed down just a little bit, so this blizzard warning goes into effect as we hit the overnight hours in central, eastern, and northeastern South Dakota. We do have a winter storm warning across western and northwestern KELOLAND. Now, as we go into tomorrow, when the blizzard warning is dropped, that is replaced by a winter weather advisory. And areas of south central and southeastern KELOLAND still underneath this winter storm watch as the system continues to come together. But anyway you look at it, right now I think the heaviest of the snows will set up across east central South Dakota into western Minnesota. And I'll have more details on your forecast coming up.
All right, thank you very much, Scott. The luck of the Irish will be with the downtown Sioux Falls business community today. Local bars and restaurants are preparing for a St. Patrick's Day surge in customers. Establishments like the Blarney Stone will flash a little more green than usual.
We all get to dress up and enjoy, the fun atmosphere that St. Patrick's brings to everybody with the green beer and the shots and everything. It's just a good time. I think it's good for the community to kind of have a reason to come out and get together too.
Well, similar to last year, Shenanigans will be shuttling people back and forth between their 2 locations for St. Patrick's Day. Now, the parade down Phillips Avenue gets underway at 2 p.m. Several nearby streets will be closed before the parade. The St. Patrick's Day Fun is downtown starts at 11 a.m. with the painting of the Shamrock. The Sioux Empire Sportsman Show is taking place at the Sioux Falls Convention Center and Arena from 10 a.m. to 8 p.m. Sunday's hours are 10 to 5. Admission is $12 for adults, $4 for children, and free for ages 5 and under. Learn all about coyotes and their adaptations during a free open house at the outdoor campus in Sioux Falls. Drop in anytime between 1 to 3 p.m. No registration is needed. Buy, sell, or trade firearms and other items at the Sioux Falls Gun Show. It's taking place at the Best Western Ramkota Conference Center from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. Sunday's hours are 9 to 3. Admission is $5, free for ages 12 and under. First United Methodist Church in Sioux Falls is hosting a puzzle competition for all ages. Teams of 4 people race to complete a 500-piece puzzle from 2 to 4:30. Prizes will be awarded to the top 3 finishers. There's also a bake sale. The NCAA Division II Men's Wrestling Championships are taking place at the Denny Sanford Premier Center. The morning session of matches begins at 10 a.m. The evening sessions start at 7. Scott?
And in weather, we continue to follow this March storm as it moves across the area. Let's go ahead and start with Futurecast. Now, I mentioned we do have these bands of snow this morning in parts of eastern South Dakota. They'll continue to move to the east and to the north. Later this afternoon, if you're heading out to the parade, go right ahead. Mostly cloudy skies. Might be able to bring in some filtered sunshine, and the southeast wind should help us warm to the middle to upper 40s. And then as we go into the evening, things start to get going. Western, northern South Dakota, we'll start to see more widespread snows, even extending into northeastern Kettleland. Notice how we do have this gap here across southeastern South Dakota, so I cut back on some of those snowfall amounts. Otherwise, that snow, western, central, northern Kettleland, this all moves across the southeast late tonight and into tomorrow morning. At the same time, as we go through the overnight, these winds will increase. Coming in from a northerly direction, 20, 40 miles per hour, a couple of wind gusts near 50. That will cause blowing snow, reduced visibilities, whiteout conditions. It's the reason why we do have the blizzard warnings for central, eastern, and northeastern Kettleland. This will come to an end later in the afternoon and evening. Then in comes the cold air from the north. We're thinking overnight low temperatures will eventually fall below 0 early next week. And then the wind chills will fall to the minus teens and minus 20s. Snowfall amounts will be heaviest in east central South Dakota into western Minnesota. There may be a couple of areas over a foot. We're going 1 to 3 in Sioux Falls, but if you travel to the north, those amounts get a little higher. 4 to 8 in Huron, 4 to 8 in Brookings. So you do see the blizzard warnings, central, eastern, northeastern South Dakota. Those do start tonight. And the winter storm watch, south central and southeastern Kettleland, still waiting for things to come together, and then we'll see if those do get upgraded across the southeast. Forecast for today, if we do see some sunshine, don't be surprised to see those numbers warm to the 40s and 50s. That will happen across the south. Now into the north, things are a little different. Temperatures stay in the 30s. Tonight, the winds pick up, snow picks up. We'll have temperatures fall to the single digits and teens. And then it's just plain winter tomorrow. That blizzard warning in effect, central into eastern Kettleland. Snow, blowing snow, heavy at times. You will run through travel issues, especially in the central, eastern, and northeastern South Dakota. Check the details of the 7-day forecast while you're here online. It includes spring temperatures returning at the end of the work week. Have a good weekend.